So back to Antarctica for a second here. You talked about, and I remember, from this conversation in the past, the drip disclosure of, what this would look like is essentially the mainstream or the military industrial complex, the deep state, however we want to look at it and call it, slowly starting to unveil disclosure of extraterrestrial life on humanity, which a process could take between 50, 100 years, 150 years, whatever that may be. And we were talking about what that would look like, and it would begin with perhaps some of this Antarctica stuff, which it sounds like teams of people that have been down there for about 15 years exploring this. Can you touch a little bit further on kind of that Antarctic side and why they would be, dripping this out so slowly?
Yeah, it was about 15 years ago that they really in earnest started bringing in researchers from universities across the world into these deep ice caverns, to begin giving them access a little bit at a time of this under ice world. Eventually, they gave a lot of these university researchers access to a civilization that was destroyed, that's under the ice, that has been cleaned up and manicured to remove anything that disturbs the historical narrative too much. Kind of like the Smithsonian would do, go in, take artifacts, and throw them in the ocean.
Yeah.
So it's a very sanitized environment that they're at first giving these researchers access to. Over the last 15 years, they've been videotaping, cataloging all of these wonderful things that they're ready to show to us. They've already put together the documentaries ready to show to us. Now, the interesting part is that the military-industrial complex wants this information to leak out a little bit at a time. They want this information to come out. What they do not want to come out is their involvement with research and development bases with Raytheon in these under ice facilities that were built in the late 50s, early 60s under Project Iceworm. There's a lot of very disturbing stuff that goes on in those, and they want that to be kept very quiet. But they do want us to focus on things that they're giving us little drip disclosures on, such as this recent information about the thermal activity creating warm areas, like 20 degrees Celsius areas for living colonies of bacteria and plants.